So I'm back up in Scotland on this trip, out on an overnight canoe trip, and I'm actually out with a few buddies of mine, Ant and Rick, who you've probably seen on the channel before. Those guys came up here yesterday and they headed out on this fairly big loch, and they've set up camp somewhere further down. I've just got the canoe in the water, getting things loaded now, and I'm going to head out and see if I can find them, and then yeah, set up my camp on their campsite when I get down there. Weather at the minute's looking okay, not much wind around, which is nice, because it is quite a big body of water. But the forecast has shown quite a lot of rain for this afternoon and tonight, so I'm pretty keen to get down there, get my camp set up, and that way I can just chill out if the rain does come over. I've got a shelter set up already, and get out the bad weather. But yeah, looking forward to being out in the canoe. It's been a while since I've been in it, so I've got a few more bits to put in there now, get the fishing gear sorted, and then yeah, I can head out on the water and try and find the guys. So I just about got my tent up in time there before the heavens opened and the rain started coming down. Yeah, I got my fly sheet on and then the first drops of rain started to fall, so that's pretty good. But I'm all set up there. The area we're camping on is pretty rocky, so I had to move a few rocks out of the way, and then I got the tent up, and with it being freestanding, I was able to move it around different areas just to check which was the best spot to have a nice flat lay in between the rocks. And I've got a good spot there now. I had to lay on it, pretty comfortable. And then I just use the rocks to keep the corners in position and get the guy lines out. And yeah, pretty close to the guys. Ant's in his hot tent. Pretty handy to having that on this trip, so we can all get in there tonight and sit around the stove and cook up some food. Nice to have that area where we're going to be nice and warm and out of the bad weather that's forecast. And then Rick is just behind him in his small tent, and he's also got a tarp up as well in his little camp area. But yeah, I'm going to go back to camp in a second and get my sleeping gear sorted. Might boil up some water for a coffee, and then we'll get the fishing gear and have a bit of a fish. I might just have a flick from the shore here. There's a few spots here which look quite deep, and then if I don't get any joy there, I might head back out in the canoe and do a bit of fishing from the canoe for a while. But yeah, I'll get back at the camp now, get a few things sorted, and then yeah, we'll spend the afternoon fishing. So the rain started again. It's quite heavy and pretty persistent this time, so I think what we're going to do is stop the fishing, head back into camp, get the stove relit and dry off a little bit, and then we can start thinking about getting some food prepped and get some tea cooked. And tonight we're actually going to have a stew. So I brought my Dutch oven with me, so I'm going to brown off some beef, chuck in some veg, some beef stock, a little bit of ale and some dumplings, and let that slow cook on the top of the stove for a good few hours tonight, and then we'll just all sit and enjoy that later on. But yeah, in the meantime I think we'll get the stove cranked up, maybe crack a few beers open, chill out in the hot tent, and yeah, warm up a little bit and get nice and dry.
There we go. There we go.
Nice.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
So we woke up to a pretty bleak morning out here. It's been raining on and off all night, and this morning it's still spitting quite a bit. And the wind's picked up, so there's a bit of a chop on the loch, but it's not too bad. But yeah, this morning we've all just got up, did a bit of chopping up some firewood, got the stove relit, and Ant's in the hot tent cooking us up some breakfast this morning, and we've got some water in the boil as well for a nice cup of coffee. But I'll just set my filter up, filtering some water, tidying a few bits of gear away. But yeah, I'm pretty keen for a bit of breakfast and a cup of coffee this morning. I'm going to enjoy the guys in the hot tent, enjoy that, and then we can start thinking about getting camp packed up before we reload the canoes and head further down the loch. Do a bit of fishing today and a bit of exploration as well, and see what else is out here.
Yeah, Max is like that. No problem. No problem at all. Enjoy.
Grab a couple then.
Oh, nice one, cheers, bro.
Alright. Yeah, cool.
One set, mate.
See otters packed up there, we're heading back up the loch now. Been out paddling for a good few hours today, and yeah, been battling the wind at times and a little bit of rain. It's been a pretty nice day paddling, doing a bit of fishing, and then we decided to stop for a bit of coffee there. But yeah, we're gonna finish the trip off now. Close the video off by saying thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate it as always, and I hope you enjoyed it. For me, it's been great to come back out with Ant and Rick and do another camp with them. And yeah, it's been a pretty nice evening last night. Sat by the stove, having a good laugh, drinking a few beers. We're actually going to be meeting up again later in the year for another canoe trip, and this time we're going to be going up to the west coast of Scotland and attempting to do the Loch Shield circuit. So yeah, it'll be a pretty challenging trip. And while we're there, we thought we might as well do our part and see if we can raise a bit of money for charity. And we're going to try and raise money for the UK Cancer Charity, which is pretty close to Rick, having battled cancer himself in the past and beaten it. He decided he'd like to try and raise a bit of money and a bit of funds for that. So that's what we're going to do. And if you guys are in a position to donate to it, we'd really appreciate it. And I'll put a link below in the video description. And yeah, any donation, no matter how big or how small, every penny would be really appreciated and go towards a great cause. But yeah, appreciate you watching, guys. Thanks a lot, and I hope to see you on the next one.